Welcome into Week 5 of Friday Football Frenzy. Chris Womack alongside Maria Santora, and it's hard to believe it's almost playoff time. We've just got 2 more weeks after tonight.
I know, an important matchup for the Western Mountain 3A Conference standings, with the Rams entering the day in second at 3-1, the Warriors trailing in third at 2-1. So a lot on the line for these two squads with the postseason approaching, and the Rams charge right out of the gates. Brody Whitson with the toss to Deshaun Whitmire, 10 yards, makes it a 7-0 game with that snag. Now fast forward to the second quarter with the Rams now up 2 scores. Erwin quarterback Corey Griffith keeps it himself, barrels through the defense into the end zone. The Corey Griffith fan club on their feet. They love it. And the Warriors cutting the deficit, now the score 14-7. Then to end the second, Whitson will drag nearly the entire Erwin defense with him over the goal line. Chris, you could say there's just no quit in Whit.
That was lame.
I knew you'd say it was lame, Brody. I'm really sorry. Rams with the win, 35-27.
So obviously Erwin and Roberson and everyone else in the WMAC is chasing Reynolds. They're the only team entering tonight that doesn't have a loss.
Yeah, and they haven't lost in 44 straight games dating back to 2014. North Buncombe
trying to change that as they visit R.L. Dalton tonight. First quarter from the Hawks 37. Ricky Tolbert goes long down the middle and finds Carter Lindsay for the touchdown. 7-zip Reynolds just like that. Moving on to the second quarter, it's 28-6 Rockets. Mark Golden takes the handoff and really just walks in to make it 35-6. The Rockets dominate this one, 42-13. Two teams seeking win number 1 on the year. West Henderson visiting Tuscola. Let's pick it up first quarter. Trickeration. Jared Penland tosses the jet. Benson. It's a trap. Double pass to Coleman Cawthorn, and he streaks down the sidelines for the 75-yard touchdown. Mountaineers up 6-0. Moving on to the second quarter, Bigot at the West 20. Cawthorn dances through the hole and bursts into the end zone for 6 to make it 20-0. The Mountaineers down the Falcons 42-14 for the first win of the Chris Brookshire era.
Asheville stepping out of conference to host Freedom. The Patriots trailed 27-zip at the half, and Asheville would tack on from there. The Cougars pound the Pats 48-6. Now down in Henderson County, North bounces back from its first loss of the year for a 35-10 win over Enka, and Franklin dominates East to the tune of 41-zip. Bears and their feline cousins, the Bearcats, Pisgah welcoming Hendersonville. Second half, Kane early under center, goes long down the seam, but intercepted is Isaac Payton. He's going to wiggle his way all the way to the back to the 40 before getting tripped up. Fourth quarter now, Ian Rogers takes the handoff and runs hard, dragging Bearcats with him inside the 25-yard line. Then
he just doesn't want to go down. He's just going to keep on running. This run goes forever.
Forever. Alrighty then. A couple plays later, Levi Cagle takes the give and shows off some real nice moves. Cutting back across the field for the 16-yard touchdown run. That makes it 13-10 in their favor, but it's Hendersonville getting the dub tonight, 21 to hand Pisgah its first loss of the season.
Over in Silva, Smoky Mountain hosting Brevard in Mountain 6 action. First quarter, the Blue Devils are at the Smoky 12. Joe Powell's going to roll right and find Kyle Lovett in the end zone, and you gotta love it. What a grab for the 7-0 lead. Brevard tames the Stinks 37-20. Stick around. We've got more Friday Football Frenzy coming up after the break.
We're the Chase High Cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Football Frenzy.
All right, thank you, ladies. We'll check in with Chase down at the farm coming up in a little bit, but just up the road from them, Avery traveled to Polk County. The Wolverines off to a great start this year.
Yeah, News 13's Anjali Patel shows us who they've been rallying around this year through every win and loss.
This is Polk County's first football season in years without Tank Waters in the stands. The former player and Tryon Fire Chief passed away last year, but the team is still finding a way to keep him with them at every single game. Every football player dreams of leaving their mark on their high school.
If you were to cut him, he would bleed royal blue.
During his playing days, Tank Waters left his mark on the Wolverines.
He was just a big, strong guy up on the defensive line. Wore number 78 and was a guy that other people rallied around.
And on his community as a firefighter.
He had opportunities to go outside of his community and work and do what he does, but he chose to stay here and do his love of fire service here in our community.
In addition to his devotion to his community, the late Tryon Fire Chief was dedicated to supporting his alma mater.
He would have been their biggest advocate and was always their biggest advocate, and telling them to stay and play ball and to give it their all.
And that's why the team gathered around his wife Tracy the day before another big game.
We know what he meant to everybody in this community.
Tank Waters' mark.
And it's the first time any red's ever been on our uniform. But being a fire chief, that's the color you associate with fire chiefs and fire departments.
Give me some great back watch right here.
Now on the helmets of the Polk County High School football team.
He would have been proud to know that the team was thinking about him and wanted to honor him.
A new addition to the team gear in the first season since his unexpected death last spring.
I'm going to give her one of our helmets.
The team presented Tracy Waters with a special gift on Thursday, a number 78 jersey and a helmet to call her own.
He said he could split a double team like no other.
Tank Waters' love of Wolverine football continues long after he hung up his cleats. The firefighter read against the Royal Blue.
That's how we remember him, and we love you.
Thank you. I appreciate this, Coach Hollis.
A fitting tribute to the man who stood out in every room he walked into.
Tank was a jokester. He wanted everybody to have a good time.
But Tank Waters' mark is more than just a decal.
It's pretty amazing how many people ask about it, and I'm able to share the story.
His mark is the story these stickers tell of the man whose world was Polk County. Now, Tank Waters isn't even the only Tryon fire chief that's honored here at Polk County High School. The field is actually named after Jeff Tennant, the fire chief before Tank Waters. And his wife says he and Tennant were just very special people who both shared a common love for Polk County. Reporting in Polk County, Anjali Patel, News 13.
The Wolverines would make Chief Waters proud tonight against Avery County. First play of the second quarter, Casey Beeler takes the snap, tosses to Angus Weeger. Look out, it's a pass to Stephen Chupp behind the D. That would give Polk a 7-0 lead. 14-0 now in the second. After stopping Avery at the goal line, George McSwain takes the handoff, but the ball is going to get ripped away by Ty Smith. He says, takes it back inside the 5-yard line. Troy Hoylman is going to cash in that turnover with a scramble around right in. 14-6, Avery trailing. But Polk would answer right away. Jacob Knighton catches the pass over the middle, and some nice tightrope walking down the sideline for the big fella as he heads to the hizzy. 21-6 Polk. The Wolverines defeat the Vikings 42-20.
All right, let's head to Owen. The War Horses hosting Mountain Heritage. In the first quarter, quarterback Gabe Silvers keeps it in the red zone up the middle for the touchdown. That makes it 8-0 Mountain Heritage after the 2-point conversion. Then in the second quarter on 3rd and long, Silver hits Logan Higgins, who tosses it to Kason Hall on the old hook and ladder, and he goes all the way 46 yards to make it 14-0. The conversion no good. The Cougars would go in at half up 20-0 and then go on to win it big 34-14. Robbinsville undefeated heading into game number 5, a conference matchup with Swain. Just before the half, with the score already favoring the Black Knights 31-zip, Cutler Adams cuts through the Swain defense, tacks on to make it 38-0. Then in the fourth, just 3 minutes to go, Gabe Lillard likes that gap, takes it himself, and is home free. A 48-yard run for the Maroon Devils. The extra point no good, so Robbinsville, they stay undefeated with a 38-6 win over Swain.
All right, a couple other Smoky Mountain Conference games. Murphy wallops Rosman 50-0, so it looks like it's going to come down to Murphy and Robbinsville for that conference title. Cherokee pounds Hayesville 42-17. And in the Western Highlands, this is the world we live in these days. Mitchell at Madison was postponed due to COVID protocols with the Patriots. Elsewhere, RS Central with a big win over South Point, 21-19. Thomas Jefferson Classical stays perfect, 42-14 beat down at Cherryville. The Griffins are going to be really tough in 1A when it comes playoff time, in Watauga drops McDowell 26-12. Well, down at the farm, Chase hosting East Rutherford on senior night. Trojans up 7-zip first quarter and looking for more. Cameron Wilkins barrels towards the goal line, but the ball gets loose. No worries. Jesse Padgett falls on it for the touchdown, 14-0 chase. And the second quarter, Wilkins inside the 15. He's not going to be stopped this time. Bowls over a defender and tumbles in for 6, 22-zip after the 2-point try. And at the end of the first half, at the 10, Hampton is going to call his own number, gets outside, and then gets big on the defender. Boom! Gives him a nice little round of applause afterwards. I don't think it was really a nice round of applause, if you know what I'm saying. Chase would roll 51-8 over those Cavaliers.
Little pat on the back, Chris. That was all.
Yeah, he's just being a nice guy. That's exactly what Hampton was doing. He was just being a really friendly young man.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so 2 more weeks to go before we hit playoff time. Obviously, it's going to look a little different this year because the brackets are going to be cut in half. So we're not going to have as many wild card teams from the mountain. So it's critically important for these teams to finish in the top 3 or 2 or win their conference in a lot of cases because there are no wild cards.
Yeah, I remember talking to J.D. Dinwiddie yesterday, and that's what he said about his squad, that a game like this is really important because you are only taking those top 3.
Yeah, and Roberson's played some of the other top teams in their conference, so very important for them to get that win over Erwin, and that almost cements them for second place. We're saying almost, Coach.
Almost.
We're not guaranteeing it. All right, Chris Womack, Maria Santora, thanks for sticking around and watching Friday Football Frenzy. Jimmy Kimmel's next.